morning, everyone, and welcome back to Flow with Dani Yoga. My name is Dani, and this morning I have for you a 20-minute yoga practice to wake you up and help get you energized for the day ahead. I will not be using any props for this practice. However, it might be handy to have a block or two or a couple books close by because we will be coming into a few balancing poses and they might be handy. So go ahead and we will begin lying on our backs. And you can bring your knees into your chest, widening them towards your shoulders, maybe rocking a little bit side to side here, just waking the hips up this morning. You can either stay here or you can come into your full Ananda Balasana or Happy Baby pose. You can grab hold of your big toes or the outsides of your feet. And keep pressing your knees away from one another, while gently drawing them down towards the earth. Just make sure in this pose that you keep pressing your tailbone down into the mat so that your whole spine is supported here. And breathe deeply in and out through your nose. Again, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. This is a great time to set an intention for the day ahead. And we can go ahead and gently release just enough to bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. And we can reach through, find our reclined pigeon pose here. Just holding on to whatever's accessible to you. Maybe you can reach the front of your shin. Maybe you hold on to the back of your leg. Just gently drawing your left knee towards your chest. And make sure you keep pressing your right knee away from you. Get a nice big deep stretch here through your glute and outer hip. And give it one more big squeeze. And we'll switch sides, bringing your left ankle to your right knee. And again, holding on wherever you can. Keep pressing that left knee away from you. And try to make sure you're relaxing your shoulders down towards the mat, not letting them draw up. Give it one more big squeeze. And release. From here, we're going to go ahead, cross at your ankles and rock up. Come to find your tabletop pose on hands and knees. Placing your palms directly beneath your shoulders and your knees directly beneath your hips. Pressing into your fingertips and knuckles. We're going to find a few rounds of cat and cow here. So go ahead and drop your belly, lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades together. And on the exhale, curl your tailbone under, round into your upper back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, curling tailbone under, drawing your chin to your chest. And take a few more, going at your own pace. And coming back to neutral, we're going to find our thread the needle pose. So go ahead and take your right hand and thread it beneath your left shoulder, bringing the side of your head down to the mat. So you really want to think about pressing your right shoulder into the mat and Your left hips might want to pop a little bit out to the left. Go ahead and press them gently back to center. And you can stay here, or you can stretch your left arm straight out. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Help twist a little deeper here. And try to imagine you're breathing into the space around your heart, finding lots and lots of space in your rib cage, in your upper back. And on your inhale, go ahead and slide your left palm back underneath your shoulder. Press all the way up, extending your right hand straight up to the sky. And back to our neutral tabletop pose. We'll go ahead and switch sides. So take your left hand, thread it through, bringing your left shoulder down to the mat. And remember, if your right hips try to pop over to the side, just gently press them back to center. And you can extend your right arm straight. Again, drawing your navel in towards your spine and imagining you're breathing into that space around the heart, opening up the rib cage. And go ahead, slide your right palm back to the mat. Inhale and extend your left arm all the way up to the sky. And go ahead and come back to our neutral tabletop pose. We'll just take a couple more rounds of cat and cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale, curling tailbone under. Inhale to drop your belly. And exhale, press into your upper back. And back to neutral. Go ahead and walk your palms forward. Find your puppy pose. Melt your heart down towards the mat. Try not to collapse into your lower back here, so keep that belly button drawn in. Try to find length through your spine, just like a downward facing dog, but a little bit closer to the mat. Lengthen out through the crown of your head, drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. And go ahead, walk your palms back to center. And widen your knees as wide as you would like. We'll find a little child's pose here. Maybe walking your fingertips out to the left. Finding a little bit of a side bend here. And as you inhale, switch sides, walking your fingertips over to the right. And walk it back to center. We'll find our first downward facing dog. So go ahead and plant your palms shoulder width distance apart and press your hips up and back. Bend into your one knee and press your heel back towards the mat, pedaling out the feet. In this down dog, I want you to think about pressing into your fingertips and knuckles, finding lots and lots of length through your spine all the way up, pressing your hips towards the sky. And if you want to think about a little more, try to imagine wrapping your shoulder blades down so that your armpits are sort of facing towards each other. will help give you a little more stability in your shoulder girdle and upper back. Don't worry too much if your knees are bent or straight here. The goal of this pose is to find length through your upper body. And keep drawing your navel in towards your spine. And from here, we're going to go ahead, lift our right leg straight up, bend into that knee, open up your hip. Keep wrapping your right shoulder blade down. Try not to open up to the side. And we're going to step it through, finding warrior one. So go ahead, your front toes are going to be facing towards the front of your mat. And we're going to spiral our back toes down at about a 45-degree angle. You want to be at least hip width distance apart here, maybe mat width distance if it's more comfortable for you. Go ahead, power up your legs and come all the way up. And your hips aren't going to be perfectly square towards the top of the mat just because of the nature of this pose. So they're going to be about 45 degrees. And go ahead, lift your arms up overhead if it's comfortable for your shoulders. Strong legs here, strong core. Imagine, keep lengthening your tailbone down and reaching the crown of your head all the way up. Maybe challenging your gaze. Look up, find a tiny, tiny back bend. Staying strong through your legs and through your core. And bring your hands together at the front of your heart. We're going to step up into warrior three as gracefully as possible. Go ahead and bend into your front knee. Lean your weight onto your front leg. And as gently as you can, press up. Straighten your back leg straight out behind you. Try to see how much length you can find from the crown of your head all the way through your toes. And try not to let that left hip open up to the side. Try to keep wrapping it down towards the earth. Strong core, strong legs here. And whoop. And we're going to go ahead and rise all the way up. Bring your left knee up with you. We're going to find a twist here. So go ahead, right hand to your left knee. Inhale, find some length in your spine. And on the exhale, go ahead and extend your left arm straight back behind you. Still keeping your belly button in. And release, come back, facing front. And from here, we're going to step back into our high lunge. Use it as a transition to warrior two. So go ahead and open up into your warrior two. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit. Front toes facing straight ahead. And make sure your knee is tracking directly over your second and third toe. Don't let it cave in. So keep pressing it apart. Your hips probably won't be facing directly to the side, so they can be a little bit at an angle. And your back toes at either a 45-degree angle or parallel to the back of your mat. Power up the legs and straighten your arms out. Looking wherever is comfortable for your neck. Again, still lengthening your tailbone down towards the mat. And on your next inhale, we're going to reach our right arm straight up, reverse our warrior. Big side bend here. And inhale back to center, straighten your front leg. This is where a block might come in handy here. We're going to come into triangle pose. So go ahead and dip your hips all the way back. Reach your right arm forward as far as you can. And slowly and carefully fold over for your triangle pose. So you want to make sure here that if you need to bring your right fingertips or your right hand to a block or to your shin, you can even bend a little bit into your front leg to make this more comfortable. And if you want to go ahead and extend your left arm straight up, that's perfectly fine. You can also keep it on your hip here. It's important to keep drawing your left shoulder up though. Find this nice twist, nice side bend through the hip. Breathing deeply. Only go as far as you can. And inhale all the way back up. If you want to challenge your balance one more time, we'll come into half moon. So go ahead, bend into your front knee and slide your left foot up a little bit. You might have to back away from your wall if you're in a smaller space like me. So go ahead and just carefully pick your left foot up off the mat again. You can keep your left hand on your hip if you need to. And you can bring your fingertips to a block or just challenge your balance, trying to float. And as gracefully as you can, come back into your warrior two. Readjust. Take a moment here. And we'll spiral our arms back down, plant your palms on the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. And if you want, you can take an optional vinyasa here. If you want to take your vinyasa, we'll inhale to plank, strong core, strong arms, strong legs, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and paddle up the feet again here. Pressing into your fingertips and knuckles, spiraling your armpits towards each other, and reaching your hips up towards the sky. Gonna go ahead and extend your left leg straight up and back. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Remember, keep your left shoulder spiraling down. Don't let it open up to the side here. And we'll find that same sequence on the second side. So go ahead and bring your left foot through, step it up. Warrior one. Remember, front toes facing forward, back toes at a 45-degree angle. Maybe you're hip width distance apart, maybe you're a little bit wider. Power up your legs and extend your arms all the way up if it's comfortable for your shoulders. Remember here, we're going to keep lengthening our tailbone down and extending the crown of our head straight up. Maybe challenging our gaze, finding a little back bend here. Strong legs, strong core. And bring your hands together at the front of your heart. Take a minute here to prepare yourself. We're going to go into warrior three again. So as gracefully as you can, go ahead and lean your weight onto your front leg. And step it up, extending your left leg straight back, lengthening out through the crown of your head. Imagine this line of energy going all the way through your toes, through your leg, through your spine, through the crown of your head, pulling you in opposite directions. Strong core here. Keep wrapping your right hip down towards the mat. And go ahead, come up to stand, bringing your right knee with you. We'll find that same twist on this side. So go ahead, left hand to your right knee. Inhale, find some length all the way through your spine. And on the exhale, go ahead and extend your right arm straight back. And release. From here, we're going to step back to our high lunge, just using it as a transition, and open up into our warrior two. Might have to adjust your feet. So remember, front toes facing straight ahead. Check on that left knee. Make sure it's not caving inwards. Go ahead and press it open, and that will adjust the angle of your hips. Perfectly fine. Back leg either parallel or at a 45-degree angle. Power up the legs, power up the core, And extend your arms straight up front and back. Still lengthening our tailbone down, finding length through the crown of our head always. Bend as deeply as you can into that front leg. And we'll inhale, reverse our warrior, left arm straight up overhead, big side bend. Inhale, back to center, straighten your front leg. Again, maybe grab a block here. And we're gonna come into triangle pose, so go ahead and tip your hips back. Stretch out as far as you can with your left arm, and go ahead and bend over. Again, maybe bringing your right arm to your hips, maybe extending it straight up. Whatever you do, just make sure you're focusing on finding this nice opening through the chest, rolling your right shoulder back. Only going as far as you can here. This is a challenging pose. Keep breathing deeply. You know you've gone too far if you can't quite breathe easily anymore. Should be challenging but not painful. And we're gonna inhale, come back up, and we can find our half moon on this side. So again, you might need your block. Might need to move yourself away from a wall. Go ahead, keep your arms as they are, and just gently and gracefully try to lift your right leg straight up. If you wobble, no big deal. It's perfectly normal. It's good to challenge ourselves every now and then. We learn our limits, and then we can grow, we can get better. And go ahead and bend into that front knee. Come back to your warrior two as gracefully as possible. Take a minute here to appreciate everything your body's done for you. And we'll spiral our hands back down to the mat. Plant your palms and step it back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And you don't have to, but we can take an optional vinyasa here. Inhaling to plank. Just power up the body. And chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Excellent. From here, go ahead and bring your knees down towards the mat. Again, widening your knees as wide as you would like them. And we can find some length in our spine and then fold on down. Another child's pose here. Just taking a minute. Maybe return to your intention if you set one in the beginning of class. But just take a minute here, again, to appreciate everything that your body does for you. It carries us throughout the day. It makes it possible for us to each live a very unique and healthy life in our own way. So we want to return the favor and take care of it as best as we can. And sometimes try not to be so hard on ourselves. I find that I often take myself a little too seriously. And yoga is a great way to get in touch with that and to help you release that a little bit. Especially doing balancing poses. So go ahead, inhale, walk your hands back in, and we can bring our knees together. Maybe taking a minute here, taking a few cleansing breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just resting your hands, however is comfortable, on your knees. And whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and find a comfortable seated pose, cross-legged or kneeling, whatever works for you. Maybe sitting up on a blanket or sitting up on one of your blocks. And we'll close out our practice with a couple little side bends and little twists here. So go ahead and walk your right fingertips out to the side. Inhale, extend your left arm up and over. And go ahead, back to center. Keep going as you bring your right hand to your left knee. Extend your left arm back behind you. Inhale, find some length. And exhale to twist. And we'll release back to center. Before we go to the other side, go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. Walk your left fingertips out. And inhale, extend your right arm up and over on the exhale. And inhale back up, find your twist, left palm to right knee, right fingertips behind. Always find length and then twist. And we'll come back to center. You can either lay down for Shavasana or stay seated. I find that I like to end seated in the mornings, especially to keep the energy up that I just gained from this little morning flow. Just take a few minutes to breathe here. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Again, returning to that intention you maybe set at the beginning of class, or setting one right now. How do you want your day to look, to feel? And we'll bring our hands together at the front of our heart. Let's chant Om one time. Inhale to chant. Om. Namaste. Thank you, yogis, so much for practicing with me this morning. I hope you feel awake and energized and ready for the day ahead. Please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to practicing with you in the future. Go ahead, leave me a message, a comment, let me know how you enjoyed this class, and have a great rest of your day.